Sentinel, which shows up in New York, near Albany. It was later attributed to a guy named Clement Clark Moore, and it's been called one of the most well-known verses and best-known verses ever written by an American. So the version you guys are about to hear now was written by yours truly just about 3 hours ago, and will probably go down as one of the worst versions by any American, although the lyrics for the song, what does the Fox say, is also so here it is, guys, and this won't be real long, so I appreciate it. This is all for all you guys, right? 'Twas the night before Christmas, when all through the data center, not an engineer was stirring, not even a lunch and learn presenter. The fiber was hung by the ceiling with care, in hopes that a new customer soon would be there. The interns were nestled all snug in their beds, while visions of the OSI model danced in their heads. And Malloy in his blazer, and Carl in his Notre Dame cap, had just settled their brains on the new office seating map. When outside on Belmont there arose such a clatter, Kurt sprang from the bed, the knock, to see what was the matter. Away from the camera while he flew in a flash, remembering his key card in his pants, while knocking over the trash. The moon on the breast of the new fallen snow gave the luster of midday to objects below, when what to his wondering eyes should appear but a rusty white bucket truck and a man in a condescending sneer. Dressed in a jumpsuit like an oil driller, he knew in a moment it must be Todd Miller. More rapid than eagles, he retrieved stockings from the sleigh frame and whistled and shouted and read them by name. Now DC, now MSP, now Sales and ProServe, on Cloud and Carrier, on Palo and Quality Assure, Ants. He hung all the stockings, ensuring they would not fall, even Tanya's bedazzled one that said, "For y'all." Once they were hung, he gave them a quick check, adding to their contents with only the right tech. "These stockings must be perfect," Todd said to himself. Then he grabbed the full backpack off of the shelf. Into the sales stocking, he added a sign for them to add to their cubicle and worship like a shrine. It included a Bluetooth-wearing man who stood there and posing, with the statement below him, "Always be closing." For the pro services, he thought, there could only be one thing: a piece of red twine they could wear like a ring. It would help remind those that were always on the hot seat to take a few minutes and enter their timesheet. The front office staff was difficult to shop for. The one thing he found came from the liquor store. It was a delivery system for a very nice wine, for use when those planning conversations made it through the paper-thin pine. The MSP team, what could they really use? He knew just one thing: it was tattoos. In there it lived the Connect-wise owl sitting up in a tree, with the caption below it, HBB WWMUT. And for those of you that last joke just got lost on, Mark Cooley frequently does classes at DRS, and he'd love to see some new faces in there, so, please stop by. We'll hook something up. The VCIO team stocking, it wasn't very full. Frequently filling PM and SC roles, that was some bull. The items were added would not make things much better. The onboarding checklist sewn into a sweater. The Palo stocking needed something really neat. Todd had the perfect thing, a device that could make heat. The heater would keep all those creative juices flowing, and even allow Josie to shed that blanket she was stowing. The Q18's gift could just not fall short. So out came a solid gold replica of the perfect aging ticket report. There was no tickets on it. By golly, they must have just made a breakthrough. Mark shared the great news along with a satisfying thank you. The carrier services team needed one more gift. 1,000 DRS stress clouds would help them not become miffed. Each cloud could be used to release some of the stress when the MSP tickets escalations became too much of a mess. The cloud services team had almost everything it needed, but 1,000 gallons of Diet Mountain Dew would help when they got weeded. For some of those times when a project got rushed, or all of those provisioning tickets that just needed to be crushed. Joe Ross's stocking was decorated in orange, aqua green, and navy blue to remind him of the team and anguish they put him through. A nice summer sausage and the finest Velveeta, along with a can of skinny margarita. Rob Palowitz had a stocking that was strong as an ox and large enough to hold Palo Creative work clocks. These would give everyone notice so they could update their spouses and keep each employee focused on the thing that was in their wheelhouses. Carl's Christmas stocking was made of pure gold, representing the university he thought only the best athletes enrolled. A giant recipe book that read like a fable, describing how to build the most complex pivot table. Malloy's Christmas stocking was the largest of the group, because if it wasn't for him, most of us would only eat soup. A giant key to the city fell to the floor with a thud, containing a recording of Mike's favorite greeting, "Hey, bud." There was just one more stocking that could not be overlooked. Todd's data center team's sock had apparently become unhooked. He added a pennant with a button that he could press for all of those times they locked themselves out of the NDC address. He spoke not a word when finishing his work and filled all the stockings and turned with a jerk, and laying his fingers aside of his nose and giving a nod as the doorway did close. He sprang to the chariot and started the ignition, and away he drove off and completed his mission. But Kurt heard him exclaim ere he drove out of sight, "Merry Christmas to all, and to all a good night."